Brothers and sisters, last time I took you into the house of Joseph, the putative father of Jesus, when his spirit faded away under the loving gaze of the sun. The words of Christ, as narrated by Maria Valtorta, warmed our hearts, made us reflect on the holiness of life and the sweetness of death lived in faith. But today we lift our eyes to a greater day, the day that broke the chains of the tomb, the day of the resurrection. It is the core of our hope, the seal of our redemption. Maria Valtorta, with her visionary eyes, leads us there before the empty tomb to hear the voice of the risen one. This is not just any story. It is a living vision, a gift that allows us to touch the glory of that morning and hear the words of Jesus, words that are meant for all of us. In the Gospel, as it was revealed to me, Valtorta describes everything with a clarity that shakes the soul. The colors of the dawn, the trembling of the earth, the tears of Mary Magdalene, and the words of Jesus that resound like a hymn of victory. Today, I will take you into this scene, reading her words, the ones she received from heaven. They are not mine, they are not invented. They are hers, written in Volume 10, Chapter 619 of her work. Prepare your hearts, for we are about to encounter the living one. This is not just a story, it is the truth calling us to believe, to hope, and to live. It is the dawn of the third day after the crucifixion. The sky is still dark, but a streak of light begins to break through the horizon. Maria Valtorta takes us there, into that silent garden near Calvary. I see the sky growing ever brighter in the east. It is a light that grows, becoming more vivid. But suddenly, a blazing flame, a globe of fire, a light stronger than the sun itself, detaches from the sky and descends like a meteor, cutting through the air with a sound like thunder. It stops above the sealed tomb, and in that brilliance, the heavy stone that seals it splits apart, topples to the ground with a roar that makes the earth tremble. The guards, terrified, fall as if dead, and the tomb is open. Imagine, brothers, this is no ordinary dawn. This is the moment when heaven bends down to the earth, when the power of God shatters the silence of death. From the opening of the tomb, a dead body does not emerge. He emerges, the Lord Jesus. He is alive. He is risen. He no longer wears the burial cloths. He is dressed in a white robe like liquid pearl, radiating light. His face is majestic, more beautiful than it ever was on earth. His eyes shine like stars. His hands and feet bear the wounds, but they glow like living rubies, as if the light of his divine being passed through those wounds. Here is the risen one, my friends. He is not a shadow, not a memory. He is Christ, the Son of God, walking among us once more. But the scene does not end here. Mary Magdalene enters the garden. Valtorta presents her to us like this.
Mary turns to see whom they are looking at, and she sees a man, beautiful, whom I do not understand how she does not recognize immediately. A man who looks at her with compassion and asks her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom do you seek?" It is true that he is a Jesus veiled by his compassion for the creature, who is exhausted by too many emotions and could die from sudden joy. But I truly wonder how she does not recognize him. And Mary, through her sobs, "They have taken my Lord Jesus. I came to anoint him while waiting for the sunrise. I gathered all my courage, my hope, and my faith around my love. And now I cannot find him anymore. Rather, I wrap my love around my faith, my hope, and my courage to protect them from men. But it is all useless. Men have stolen my love, and with it, they have taken everything from me. O my Lord, if you are the one who has taken him away, tell me where you have placed him, and I will take him. I will not tell anyone. It will be a secret between you and me. Look, I am the daughter of Theophilus, the sister of Lazarus, yet I kneel before you, pleading like a slave. Do you want me to buy his body? I will do it. How much do you want? I am rich. I can give you gold and gems as much as he weighs. But give him back to me. I will not report you. Do you want to strike me? Do it. Bleed me if you wish. If you hate him, let me pay for it. But give him back to me. Oh, do not leave me in this misery, my Lord. Have pity on a poor woman. Not for me, Then for his mother, tell me where my Lord Jesus is. I am strong. I will take him in my arms and carry him away like a child to safety. Lord, Lord, you see, for 3 days we have been struck by the wrath of God for what was done to the Son of God. Do not add profanation to crime. Mary! Jesus' voice shines as he calls her. He reveals himself in his triumphant splendor. Rabboni! Mary's cry is truly the great cry that closes the cycle of death. The first cry enveloped the victim in the darkness of hatred and funeral shrouds. The second cry, full of love, increased his radiance. And Mary rises with that cry, filling the garden, rushing to Jesus' feet, longing to kiss them. Jesus gently stops her, touching her forehead lightly with the tip of his fingers. Do not touch me. I have not yet ascended to my Father with this robe. Go to my brothers and friends and tell them that I am ascending to my Father and yours, to my God and yours. And then I will come to them. And Jesus disappears, absorbed into an unbearable light.
Those words, brothers, are a thunderclap of grace. Do not hold on to me. Jesus does not reject Mary, but reveals something greater to her. His resurrection is not just for her, it is for all of us. It is a passage to the Father, an open door for humanity. Valtorta then takes us to the other women, the pious disciples who followed Jesus. The pious women arrive shortly after, shaken by the absence of the body. They tremble, looking around, when Jesus appears to them as well. He is radiant, the same Master, but transfigured. He says, "Rejoice, do not be afraid, it is I. Go and tell my disciples that I have risen and that I will go before them to Galilee." His voice is gentle, powerful, like a song that dispels all fear. He lifts them up with a gesture, smiles, and that smile is peace itself. Do you feel the power of this moment? Valtorta does not invent, she describes what she sees, what has been shown to her. Jesus is not only the risen one, he is the consoler, the Lord who pauses for his creatures. The light of his robe illuminates the garden. His wounds shine like trophies of victory. And those words, "Do not be afraid, it is I," are for every heart that still seeks him today. Brothers, Valtorta's words are not an addition to the Gospels. They are an echo that brings them closer. John tells us that Jesus called Mary by name. Matthew, that he greeted the women with, "Do not be afraid." Valtorta allows us to see the face behind those words, to hear the sound of his voice. "Mary!" a cry that breaks through sorrow. "Rejoice!" a greeting that heals fear. It is the same Jesus of the Gospels, but seen with eyes that search the heart. What does this teach us? That the resurrection is not a distant event locked in a book. It is alive. It is for us. When Jesus says, "Do not hold on to me," he reminds us that his glory is not something to be grasped with our hands, but to be received with faith. He has ascended to the Father, yes, but he has not left us alone. He has opened the way for us. Those luminous wounds that Valtorta describes are the sign of his love, a love that has paid the price for our freedom. Think about it. How many times do we feel like Mary Magdalene, standing before an empty tomb weeping for what we have lost? But he calls us by name. He says, "It is I." The resurrection is the answer to our pain, the light that conquers all darkness. And to us, just as to the women, he says, "Go, proclaim." It is not a command. It is an invitation to bring his life into the world. Do you feel this invitation in your heart? It is faith that makes us truly alive. Here is the Jesus of Maria Valtorta, brothers, the risen one who still speaks to us. If these words have touched you, write it in the comments. What has moved you? Share this with those who seek hope. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to become part of this faith community. May the Lord bless us all.